In this lesson, I'll introduce 3 new syntactic features related with function definitions and invocations that provide additional flexibility when dealing with argument passing. These features are called default arguments, keyword arguments, and arbitrary arguments. Let's deconstruct these fancy names and work together on a fun problem to practice them. The first syntactic feature related with function declarations that I'd like to present to you here is the ability to use default arguments for function parameters. This is what we call default arguments. Consider the following function named hasVowel. This function accepts 2 string arguments named text and vowels, and it returns true if any of the letters in argument vowels appears in text. For this purpose, the code runs a for loop where variable letter takes a value equal to each character in text in each iteration. Notice the use of the in keyword for this purpose, which allows us to traverse the characters of a string in the same way that we would traverse the elements of a list. In each iteration of this outer loop, another inner for loop is executed, where variable vowel takes a value equal to each character in vowels. And in each iteration of this inner loop, we check whether the current letter in text is equal to the current letter in vowels, and if so, we immediately exit the function and return true. If the code above completes and the first return statement was never executed, the code reaches a second return statement, which makes the function indicate that no match was found. Let's look at several possible ways to invoke this function from a main program. This first call checks whether vowels E or I are present in text XYZ, and the printed value is of course false. The second call checks whether text apple contains either of these same 2 vowels. In this case it does, so the program prints true. The last call is a peculiar one, since it uses less arguments than parameters were declared in the header of the function. When running this code, Python detects this inconsistency and stops the program with an error, as shown here. This error explicitly indicates that the function call is missing one required argument to substitute the parameter we called vowels in the function header. But wouldn't it be nice if we could ask Python to assume that parameter vowels should be automatically set to a string containing all vowels in the alphabet if the corresponding argument is not given by the user? In that case, the function would check if the given text contains any vowel, as opposed to a specific set of vowels. Well, we can actually do this with the following modification to the function header. A parameter can optionally be followed by the equal sign and a default value to be adopted if the corresponding argument is omitted. With this modification, we can attempt the last function call shown before. Since the second argument is not given, Python assumes a default value set to A, E, I, O, U, a string containing all vowels. Now we can see that this function call succeeds, and it prints true because word John contains vowel O. If you enjoyed this content, you may watch the rest of this lesson at computersciencecamp.com, linked in the description below. You'll be able to follow along with coding samples and problems in our embedded code editor. Drop your questions in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to help support the channel. Thank you and happy coding!